So finally, I thought I'd show you one other thing, which is the ACM Digital Library, which contains a lot of the papers that you'll probably end up reading. So you access it by going to dl.acm.org. And there's a couple, they give you a ton of different ways to search, but probably two of the more common ways, at least in this assignment, is I can click into Proceedings here. So it says Browse the ACM Publications, now click Proceedings. This will allow me to search the proceedings of the various ACM conferences that are out there, and you see it's a really long list. Like, it's kind of like my browser is like almost crashing, but there's like so many ACM conferences over the last however many years. I'm going to search for Chi. I think it was Chi 18. So those are, and then from there I can click in, and this will give me all the papers that were accepted into Chi, and it's actually impressive how many there are. I'm going to go to table of contents now, and you'll see it's like just tons and tons and tons and tons of papers that get accepted. But that gives you, that's one of the biggest conferences in HCI, so that's sort of why there's thousands of papers. If I go back to the digital library for a minute, I can also search by special interest group. And this will allow me to narrow down all the ACM papers. And keep in mind, ACM is pretty much all of computer science. That's going to have database or papers on databases, artificial intelligence, a lot of things that may not be relevant. But anyways, I can search for SIG Chi here, the Special Interest Group in Human-Computer Interaction. That will basically narrow the focus down to only papers that were accepted at a Chi conference. So like Chi or Designing Interactive Systems or WIS, there's a ton of those conferences, or to journals like the Transactions on Human-Computer Interaction. So I'm going to search here for speech for a minute, and I'm just going to click in. And when I find an article I like, one thing I can do is I can click in and I can see, obviously information about it. I can get an abstract. I can also save it to a binder. So this is, I can later refer to it. So I can click in and add it to there. I've already created a binder, so I'm going to go in to my binders. And I'm going to click into Speech Chi. So I can see I have 22 different items. It's good for review. One thing I like to do, though, is I like to be able to export it into Excel. You see they don't have any option for that, but there is a way around this. So I click in ACM Ref. I'm just going to copy the link they give me here for it to download it. I'll just paste it in my address bar. And I'll change the last parameter to CSV. So now this is going to download basically a comma-separated variable file. This will allow me to now analyze it in Excel. So we're now going to do that. Stop in. We're going to open a Finder, and there's my list. I'll just rename that to CSV. And now let's just open that up in Excel. Okay. So one nice thing with this, with Excel, is now I can sort of edit this stuff. So each column has its own piece of information. Like, these are the authors. That's the title. That's sort of where you can find it. If I wanted to know all the authors, what I can do is I can copy this column. I can open up my favorite text editor. I'll paste that in. Now what I'll do is I'll just do a quick find and replace to basically separate the names out. Do another find and replace to remove the new lines. So that'll now push us in there. All right, and I'll just save that. I don't know where that got saved as. I'll just save it. Then I'll go into my terminal. I'll sort the results. Just sort the results. Then I'll just open that up here. So now that I have the sorted results, now this gives me a really quick way to find who the top authors are. And I can apply this approach for keywords. You'll see, if you look carefully, you'll see keywords are here as well. So I can use the exact same approach to then find what the top keywords were in those short list of articles that I found. So just another tip.